and welcome to another episode of my Working with Todoist series. My name is Pullein, and today we're going to be looking at how to use Todoist boards to get more focused on what is truly important to you each day, each week, and each month. Because ultimately, we don't want the trivial tasks that hide themselves as urgent and important when in reality they're not and can be ignored. What we want to be doing is focusing in on the things that we have determined are important to us today and this week. And that's what I'm going to show you today, how to use boards to do that. Now, before we go any further, I would just like to say, if you do get any value from this video, then please help me by clicking on that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and you want to get all the latest tips, tricks and news on using Todoist, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's go into my demo account now, and I'll show you a few ways you can use boards to get really focused. Okay, so what we're going to do is I just want to set up a few caveats, because I saw something on Facebook this week where somebody was kind of complaining that with filters and labels, we cannot move things around. Now, if you look in my today, let's go into my today view, you'll notice that I cannot really move these around. I can actually move that one around, but it's always going to drop back up at the top. I can actually move these out. I can move them into projects, but essentially, I cannot really change the order of my Today view. Today view is essentially a filtered view. Although, to be fair, I can actually move these ones around within the flag if I want to. But to be honest, if I want to organize my list, I'm just going to use the flags anyway because it's quicker and it also kind of organizes it without seeing the today list. But when you go into the view option, which is the key part here, you'll notice that in Today View, I cannot change this to a board. Now, that's just simply because it's a filtered view. Anything that's a filter, for example, let's go into today's personal task. You'll notice now I cannot move these around because this is basically just a list of things for a parameter that you've set. So if we go into my view here, I can group by different things. I can group by all these different versions here, and I can sort by, but I cannot, change this into a board. So that's something that you want to do. Labels and filters cannot be changed into boards. However, all projects can, and that's what we're going to look at today. So here's my this week project folder. Now I have this organized by date. So if you notice that I've got a custom sorting. So let me just click on this and I'm just going to move this out. So now there's no custom sorting. This is just organized by as is. And any project, you can move things around randomly like that. But you can quickly get things into some kind of order by going into view. So I can group by, these are all grouped by default. But first of all, I can group by, and I'm going to group by date. So due date. So this has now changed this list into a organized by date. And now I'm going to go by priority, because priority to me is a very important feature that I use in Todoist. Now that looks great, but those of you might not like filtered a list view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this view now. I'm going to go to the view and I'm going to view as board. Now what you'll see, let's just move the sidebar. By the way, if you want to move the sidebar, you can either click on the hamburger bar up here or just tap M. I'm going to tap M. And now you can see my this week project folder organized by date. Now I've got one in for next week, which is kind of interesting. But here we go. So I can now see, as I'm doing my planning, which I do every Saturday morning, I can look at this and I can think to myself, great, I've got a busy Monday because Sunday, because that's here. Today is Saturday. I got a busy Sunday. And Monday, I'm working on a project which I know is going to take some time. So I haven't actually added too many things. Now, the only other thing to keep in mind is these are not draggable because it's custom sorting. But you cannot just move this over here, as you see. So I'm trying to move this, but what I can do is you can change the date simply by just clicking on that, and then I can just use the date picker to change the date. So if I change that to Tuesday, or Monday I should say, bang, it goes. So all you have to do is touch the date, and I can move that to Monday, and I can move my tasks around to give my week a bit of balance. But this view really does help you to see a focused view. The only thing I need to worry about is this section here today. I don't need to worry about all this stuff. I just need to worry about this stuff. This is the stuff that I've decided needs doing today. So that's one way of using boards to help you to get focus. Now, all being well, these will all be cleared by the end of today, and then I can be working from this. So essentially, I'm working from the left side of the board. Now let's change that. And now another one that I want to show you comes in my planning area. These are really, really helpful. Now, for those of you who've taken the Areas of Focus mini course, which I strongly advise you all do, simply because if you don't know what your areas of focus are, the tasks that are related to the things that are really important to you, and they're all important to us, it doesn't matter who you are, family, relationships, career and business, finance, health and fitness, personal development. Now, I should point out, this is my demo account, so I haven't completely completed this area. But if you want to keep focused on your areas of focus, this is another way of using areas of focus. You can use the board view and you can see what tasks you've got. So in here, I could have send, let's say, $1,000 to savings, and I'm going to do that every 15th, and that's going to come up on the 15th of every month. So now I've got my finances. That's just going to pop up. That would be, for me, because it's an area of focus, I'm going to make sure that's a red. And so on the 15th of August, that's going to be up on my top list. I don't need to see it anywhere else because the areas of focus are always recurring tasks, things that are going to help you to change your habits so that you are keeping your areas of focus in balance. So there's another way of being able to really focus in on what is really important to you. And a final board view that you can use, I'm going to again use this, remove this sidebar, is what I call my purpose and objectives. And I get a lot of questions about this because people see it and I don't cover it every week. Now, my purpose and objectives have 4 sections. So all these are sections. I could add another section here, but all I really want to know is what is my focus for this week? What are my objectives for this week? Now, these are 2 different things. This is what I'm focusing on. So when I get a few extra minutes, or I get a 30-minute here, or I get an hour there, I know that my focus area for this week is going to be on these projects. Either it's a time sector system book, or it's working on developing a workshop for a company. My objectives are things, as you can see, I've got clear. So here, I don't have any checkbox. Now, by the way, for those of you who don't know, if you want to remove or what we call a non-completable task, all you have to do is put the asterisk, then a space, and then type what you want. That will give you what's called a non-completable task. This is what I want to focus on. It's not a task, it's just something I want to focus on. Objectives are tasks. These are the things that I actually want to accomplish. So in this particular example, I'm going to write 5,000 words of my time and time sector system book. I'm also going to complete a course, which coincidentally comes from one of my areas of focus, which is personal development or self-development. My objectives for this month is also important because often you'll find that you start the month with a few ideas of what I'm going to do this month. And then as the days start, the month starts, you very quickly lose track of what you want to get accomplished. So once again, I've got objectives here, which is I'm going to exercise a minimum of 25 times this month, and I'm going to prepare the Time and Life Mastery Course 2023 update outline. So that's what my objectives are for this month. So maybe one of these is going to move over here at some point when I do the weekly planning. So this is moving every week. And then I've got my quarterly objectives because as a business owner, I generally run in quarters. I also like to put my health and fitness objectives for that quarter in there as well. And again, I've got another one related to the book. So again, this is really designed to keep you focused on what your objectives are for this week, this month, and this quarter. Now, the quarter is optional. I use it because I'm a business owner. You might just need to have just objectives for the week and objectives for the month. But it's a really good way of keeping you focused on what's truly important to you, whether that's in your personal life or your professional life. So there you go. There's just 3 things that you can do with boards that will really help you to focus in on what is truly important to you. The areas of focus one is great because once you've done this, you really only need to do this once, and you probably review it every 3 months just to make sure things are still in balance. What I should point out with the areas of focus board is that you are making sure that these tasks are set to recur. They're very important because if you're doing them frequently, you will keep your areas of focus in balance. It's really, really important to do that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this episode, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Hello, thank you very much for watching my videos. Now I have something exciting to tell you about. Recently I have developed a brand new time management system. It's a system designed to manage your time in the 21st century. The world has changed a lot over the last 20 years. In fact, it's actually changed a lot this year. And what we need now is a system, a time management system that is very easy to use, easy to maintain, so that you can spend more of your time doing the work. And that's what the time sector system is all about. It's going to change your whole belief system about the way a time management system should work, because this focuses on when you are going to do the task. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter how motivated, inspired, or how urgent something is. If you don't have time to do it, it is never going to get done. And that's what this system is built around, getting your work done, so you can spend more of your time doing the things that you want to do. I hope you join me in this course. The full details of the course are in the show notes below, so please join me, and thank you very much for watching this brief video.